correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Welcome to Me and Steve Talk RPG, the podcast where me and my friend Steve...
We're playing games this time.
Before we begin, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something important. The setting of this campaign, Origin, is inspired by West African cultures, histories, and aesthetics. None of the players, and certainly not myself, have lived experience or even ancestry from that part of the world. While Origin is part of the canonical setting for Exalted, I've drawn on real-world West African traditions to help bring the setting more fully to life. This isn't meant to be an accurate historical or cultural portrayal, and it is definitely not a commentary on any real-world nations, peoples, or beliefs. One key difference is theological. While Timbuktu and the surrounding regions were deeply shaped by the arrival of Islam, Exalted has its own divine and mythological structure that plays out very differently. My hope is to approach these inspirations with respect and care, and I welcome feedback if I fall short. In the session notes, there will be a short list of resources to learn about the real history of West Africa and the Sahel. Thank you. All right. I guess we start playing then.
Now I vote we all go have a drink and sit down and do a bit of what if? What if we do X? What if we do Y? What are the demands that we have on us already, and where do we need to go with them?
Before we do that, though, Nim does look to the headman. While we are here, you will be under my protection. I cannot speak for the others, but I think they would agree. You will be fine.
Cyclone would nod in agreement with that if he's in the room.
But yes, drink and figuring out where we're going to find this money is high on Nim's list of things to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Money. No.
Procurement of resources has become priority number one.
I mean, you are like friends with some of the richest merchants in Origin.
Well, see, and if I'm not mistaken, our main contact is a cloth merchant, is he not?
No, that's the contact that Nim decided to create.
Right,
Okay.
we do have that cloth merchant. That's cool. That's useful. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Do we have anyone with guild connections?
Most of the larger merchants here try to stay clear of guild entanglements. It's not. They prefer not to be beholden to the guild. There are local guilds, lowercase g, for a number of different trades, but not the guild, uppercase g.
As I recall our previous discussion, none of us are particularly fond of uppercase G guild.
Correct.
Correct.
Yes. I am trying to figure out the best way to sell 200 fire wands.
Well, I did meet an individual who claims to run the underworld.
Just so you know, having those fire ones is illegal. Selling them is also illegal. None of them are registered with the city government, which is illegal.
Only if you get caught.
Yes,
wait,
I know.
What if we sold them to the city government?
Well, that would be legal.
See?
I mean, I'm down with this.
Right?
Well, this is also going...
We're a mercenary company, so having our fire wands, I'm happy to register our fire wands. That's fine. But we could sell them 200 illegal fire wands. That's perfectly acceptable.
Well, I think this also brings up the other point that we need to situate ourselves with the city government. I'm not sure how much relations we've had with them thus far.
Well, in a sense, though, part of what we're doing is trying to reestablish the city government proper. So, offering them a significant block of firepower might not be the worst thing ever, and having a mercenary company to kind of start that might, there is the honorable work, but I feel like, the Daggerwind people seemed like they did things honorably. The Red Fang just seemed like we're getting paid, so piss off, initially.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, the Daggerwinds are professionals, but they are also, their contract is with Gem.
Right. As was the contract of the Red Fang, correct?
Yes. They were just taking extra money to do extra jobs on the side.
So we have a couple of points here then. So we have to deal with the other mercenary companies, and if we're seeking to liberate this place from Gem, we're going to have to deal with the other mercenary companies that are being paid by Gem, and also see what we can expect from the local nobles and city government.
Yeah, you haven't really talked to any nobles or the prince or anyone really involved in city government so far.
Yes,
we kind of skipped that step.
Yes, we're going to liberate a city that hasn't told us. And we haven't really spoken
well,
with official...
the merchants are very clear on the whole thing. They're tired of Gem.
All right. So I think we need to, one, have a talk with our merchants, see if, how much they're willing to help finance this force. Would you agree, Cyclone?
Yes, that definitely seems like an appropriate step we need to take.
And also, Nem, do you think you'd be comfortable speaking with some noblemen, seeing where they might like to fit into these plans?
Suppose I could stoop to their level. Sorry. But yes, that is what he says.
Yep. And these texts that you were looking for, which you said they were in a library? Was it anything nearby or something we can assist you with?
Honestly, I think I'm going to have to do a bit more digging. But I mean, I definitely don't mind.
So, context: there is a nearby city whose entire shtick is they're run by the Council of Librarians, and they have a massive library, and that's a lot of their economy is based on scholars coming and paying fees to go poking around in the library. Plus what they charge for, classes.
Yeah, so that's going to be the ones that, that's where I would like to go. So.
And then we'd also we need to see what we could do about having maybe setting you up to provide some healing services. It sounds like, since Nim is offering your services.
I am absolutely willing.
I said I think. I think she is willing to.
It is absolutely fine. I am more than happy to do so. It is easy enough, I believe, and allows us to cultivate some goodwill.
So, the villagers are concerned that when you guys leave, their landlord will just hire somebody else to do the same sort of thing.
I think we need to go talk to the landlord.
Are you going to wait until the Oathbound return so that you have a slightly more impressive group too, or are you just going to go by yourself?
I would think it might be best to have maybe Cyclone, if you want to maybe take a visit and see what the landlord has in store for these people here. So we have some sort of bargaining chip, and then when
what his stores are, so to speak.
Yes, so know who we're dealing with, and maybe when the Oathbound return, we'll have a better leverage for Nim to speak to the landlord here, and maybe make his own insurances that the people will remain free, or at least left to their own devices.
I like that plan.
And I would address the village headman. Just to be clear, you're not uncomfortable with your existing terms. You just wish them to remain as they are and not increase, correct?
Well, this year we had a bad harvest because of the locusts, and that's not our fault. It wasn't that we were not harvesting. We were doing all the things we're supposed to do, but what can you do about locusts?
Right.
So we need a year off from these, from paying, and then next year we should be fine. But yes, we don't want any change in our terms, because these terms have served this village and our land and the nobles for generations, and it's only greed that makes them want to change now.
So, just to be clear, if we negotiate with this man, I don't want to put you in a position where you're not able to sustain yourselves. What type of time frame would you be able to repay him what he is owed for this year? Agreed, not your fault, but you did run the land, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
Well, many more years than that. We've been working on this land for generations. So we could take this year's we could take this year's rent and split it out over the next 4 years, and pay it back that way. Be a little bit tight. We'd manage.
More, I just want to know what you're comfortable with us offering him. Not saying that's what it's going to be yet.
I prefer 5 or 6 years, but we could manage with 4. I mean, and longer is better, obviously, if you can get him to agree to that, as long as he's not charging interest.
Nim seems to be our chief negotiator, so kind of looking to Nim a little bit with that, but that seems the information we need.
Nim just is like kind of staying quiet and obviously thinking to himself, but trying to figure out a way to make this a more lucrative deal for the villagers themselves. So that's where he's at, and just kind of remaining quiet for now. He'll nod if if a question is asked, though. But because if we could turn this into like our base of operations, more or less, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit outside the city, but that has its good points as well.
Exactly.
No, they're agricultural, and everybody needs food. So, armies march on their bellies, as they say. Which, I mean, it would be something more discussed in private, but it would just sort of be, do we have interest in somehow acquiring the land from the landowner?
That's more resources.
Working on it.
No.
We'll get there.
Just
food for thought. No pun intended.
Not a bad idea, certainly.
So,
just as would any of us have any clue what the value of the village, quote unquote, would be?
I don't.
Yeah, I know Finn would not be like agriculture would not be his thing.
Buying it outright would be expensive, even if you could convince him to sell. You've got to remember, silver is nice, but land is generational wealth. They're not quite at the medieval all wealth is fake unless it's land, but they're not that far off either.
No.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, I was just curious.
Well, so just so I can understand as the player, so the landowner here, is this basically like one of the nobles we'll be dealing with, or is this sort of like a different?
This is in fact one of Origin's nobles.
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah,
Lord
I guess
Veyca.
at this.
Lord
okay.
Veyca. Hussar Veyca.
All right. Yeah, this would be. We're going to start dealing with the nobles, and might as well understand the way that their leadership is structured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he's not running the nobility. He's one of several. I mean, there are a couple hundred assembly seats. He's got one of them. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I said this is a good opportunity for an introduction, I'm guessing. for Nim, since he's going to be our voice to the nobility. Parviz, our voice to the people, it seems, or at least to the gods.
Did not anticipate this direction for Nim, but here we go. I'm into it.
Hey, if you,
Well,
I don't think you want Finn doing the talking.
yeah, probably not me either. But I do have a little bit of a plan here when we get back to the city.
Okay.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah. I think at this point, are we going to continue on to the concern by the people here? The concern by the people is that when we move to the city, that the landlord's just going to kind of abuse them. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, that he'll basically just bring in another mercenary force and do the exact same thing.
Okay.
That's the fear, yeah.
All right. I mean, if you want to continue on to the city, I mean, Finn could stay behind to wait for the Oathbound to show up and sort of give them their orders to remain here, or at least to put a token force here to prevent that, and then move on to the city. It's up to you guys if you want to continue on.
I need it. I have like a day and a half to figure out. We need what, resources 3 for this initial contract, essentially.
Yeah, it's a very high resources 3.
High resources 3. I have like a day and a half to figure that out, so I need to get to the city.
Yep. And Cyclone needs to get to where he can steal things.
Okay. So just so you're aware, they would tell you that Lord Veyca is most commonly found in his country manor house, fortified estate, something like, it's somewhere between a family, a great family home and a fortified compound. But he is most commonly found there. He is between here and Origin.
Okay.
Take a visit.
What about, is that where his stores are kept, or does he have a segment of warehousing somewhere in the city, or?
They say as far as they know, stuff gets taken to that estate, and then the surpluses are then taken to the city.
Okay, either you just froze or I am completely frozen. I don't know.
I think, yeah, it sounded like there was a space, and now I can hear you again.
Okay.
Can't hear our GM.
Deck is still frozen on my video screen.
Yeah, same here.
Need to be sold.
Oh, there
he
he
is.
is.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm the one that froze. Okay. Did you guys hear any of that?
He takes the stores to his manor, and then the extra goes into the city, and he's between here and Origin. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, my thought is to, on our way back, I would like to scout his stores, so to speak. Be that by simply just finding a spot where there's no guards, hopping the wall, and then popping easily overlooked presents and a clipboard, so to speak, and just wandering about like I know, with a purpose. Mm-hmm. Just not in any way trying to take anything, almost looking like I'm some sort of inventory clerk.
Okay, that's fairly easily done if you want to do that. So, are you guys all going to relocate to the Veyca estate and let Cyclone do that, or what's going on?
I mean, yeah, I definitely think that would be something for Cyclone to do. The only other question is if anyone would be opposed to Finn sort of coming in there and maybe discussing that the landlord kind of leave the people alone for the time being. I don't know if Nim wants. Well, I mean, we said that we wanted the Oathbound to come back first, right? Before we started negotiating with them.
I think so, yes.
Okay. So like I said, we could have Finn remain in the village if you'd like, and everyone else kind of move toward the city, so that Finn can wait for the Oathbound.
Okay.
All right. So the Veyca estate.
I need to step away. I'm going to step away for just a second. My food is arriving. I apologize. I'll be right back.
No worries. The Veyca estate is sitting on a hill. It's overlooking the trade road to the west. It's both residence and stronghold. It's got a set of outer walls of high-fired brick, about 12 feet tall. There is a gatehouse. Then there's a central building, 3 stories tall, austere, defensible. And there's internal courtyards. There's a barracks wing for household troops. And, of course, there's a servants' wing where you find servants' quarters and the laundry and the kitchens and all that nonsense. And then the family lives in the central portion. You said you're going to go over the wall and easily overlook the presence?
Basically, yeah. In my brain, it was if you walk around with a clipboard like you know where you're going, no one pays attention to you, but augmenting it with easily overlooked presence. Again, just to get a feel for, is this guy stocked to the gills, or is he down on his luck?
No. So he's got, for one thing, he's got some 30-ish guards that are protecting this area, or are protecting his home. And probably about 10 people that you would class as sort of like professionals, stewards, scribes, accountants, that sort of thing, and another 15 to 20 domestic servants, cooks, laundresses, stable hands, cleaning staff, etc., etc., etc. Plus of course his valet and his butler and the captain of the guard and all the rest. There's several members of his extended family living here, plus himself. His stores seem to be pretty substantial, well stockpiled. I mean, it's the spring, so they're starting to trend low, but that's why, he's demanding rent. So it's first harvest. So that's one of the things about creation is you'll get 3 to 4 harvests.
Okay.
Because of the length of the year.
Mm-hmm. So essentially, just for what I'm trying to establish, him not getting their rent this year isn't going to break him.
No, not even a little bit.
That was more what I was looking to establish. Not that I'm not also keeping an eye out for how some of it might be liberated if we have to go that route, but... So yeah, once I've found that, I'll come back and have that conversation with him. Yeah, this guy's, he's stocked up and good. He's being a bully, basically.
Yeah, no one is going to starve if he doesn't get his rent.
Precisely.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking to ascertain effectively. Is he? Are we going to someone who? If he says, "Oh, I need it," and we can just know he's lying, that also tells us a little bit more about what type of person he actually is.
Yeah. I'd also say that you've noticed the estate. So noble estates tend to go for one of 2 vibes. One is, I'm rich and I can pay people to protect me, and this is my fortress. And I'm rich and I would like to display to you how rich I am by having lots of beauty and art and statues and all this other nonsense. He is definitely on the austerity and strength side of things. There's not a whole lot of displays of wealth.
It would seem a very practical man.
Yeah, seems to be a very practical man, and very sort of a he's very practical, not opulent, and he's got plenty of resources squirreled away for a rainy day.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking to find out there. So that, so to speak, we're negotiating from an informed perspective.
Mm-hmm. Shall we skip ahead to the arrival of the Oathbound, and then are you guys going to march them to the Veyca estate?
Well, they're basically coming by on their way anyway, are they not?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and I know if Nim's back, I assume he's actually leading the talkie bits.
Mm.
I'll do my best.
Okay. So you're basically marching up with a large mercenary company, having made his pet mercenaries vanish like water on a hot plate. And, yeah. Are you guys going to send a messenger up to talk to him, or are you going to wait for him to initiate the conversation, so to speak?
Appropriate flags raised, saying that we're not coming for combat, but like the proverbial white flag.
Right. Crossed branches. Crossed
Right.
branches. Hey,
Right.
I was just reminded that now's a good time to break for food, and also that my food is arriving here shortly. So I want to take...
No, your food is here.
Oh, my food is here. Okay. Then I'd like to take 15, if that's okay with everybody.
I'm good with that.
All right.
Absolutely.
Cool. See you all in 15.
All right.
Testing. Anybody else here?
Yes, I am. But I am running something to the trash can, so I'll be back in 30 seconds.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yay.
Yep, still here. I think I'm gonna have to increase Finn's war rating.
Why?
Oh, I mean, feels like we have a small army forming up. Might be useful to have a skill for it.
I am back. Hello.
Hello.
I do not believe you. I think you're a figment of my imagination.
That is a you problem.
Oh. All right. I think it's time to get back to playing some Exalted.
Woo.
Sorry, Dad.
All right. So you guys are headed up to the Veyca estate, and you send forward someone with crossed branches, and you've got your 100-ish mercenaries behind you. And after some discussion inside the compound, you do get a gentleman on a horse riding out to meet you. He is, of course, clad in the indigo robes of most of the nobles. He has a little bit of jewelry, but not much. He's definitely an older man, white on his beard, but it's not all white. And he just rides up to you all like this is Tuesday. And he looks at you all over and says, so the rumors are true. Well, I'm Lord Veyca. What brings you here?
So I will give a courteous bow and just give my name. Poke him in the ribs.
This is in the village, right? Like I'm headed towards the city.
Oh no.
Correct?
Okay, this is halfway between the village and the city, and this is the estate of Lord Veyca, and he has ridden out personally to talk to you, and he asked what brings you to his estate.
And for your character's information, I scouted his stores. He appears to be a very practical man, not, like his buildings are all well done and well kept, but they're not lavish. His stores are in very good stock. He's
Okay.
not, he doesn't need their rent immediately. We know
Okay.
that, but he doesn't know we know that.
Okay. Nim will bow respectfully. I am Pale Nimbus. We are here to discuss. We're just here to discuss a repayment to you and settle a contract.
He raises an eyebrow. Okay.
Perhaps we can sit together in a more comfortable manner. I do apologize for the truth.
You bring an army to my house and then wish to speak of comfort? No. I am here, you are here, tell me what you have to say.
I do apologize for the army. It was a matter of traveling at the same time. The optics, I agree, are not good. But there is a certain village that owes you money. We wish to renegotiate a contract to ensure you get repaid. They had a bad harvest. It is in our interest to make sure that they stay safe and happy.
Says, yes, Nemara's rest, I assume.
Indeed. And again,
All right.
I do apologize for the troops. It is truly not intentional, which is why we waved the appropriate banners.
I find that very rarely does one move mercenaries accidentally.
It is more a timing issue, if you understand. It has very little to do with you and more to do with things we are working on. I do apologize again. Genuinely.
That's very nice. So, what is your request, offer, demand? I don't know.
He starts laying out the terms that the village would like, understanding that this is a negotiation. He bumps up the timeline from like 4 or 5 years to 7 to 8, knowing that he needs to get it to 4 to 5, to ensure that Lord Veyca is paid in full. He's requesting no interest. He has a feeling a little interest will be added, but that's why he's adding extra time. And essentially, he's actually playing very honestly with him, because I need this to go smoothly. Like I don't need like nitpicking back and forth for a week and a half. Do I have the authorization from the circle to offer protection protection to offer him protection via the mercenary order we're building, should he need it, or a special deal should he need it, as he seems practical and on the level?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will be offering him a very, very reasonable rate for guards, for trade, etc., with the Oathbound, should he agree to our terms.
He says, I don't have need of that at the moment, but I will keep it in mind. In short, yes, I don't throw good money after bad, and I assume this is the functional remains of the Red Fangs. So, from where I sit, yes, I get paid. I take it over some time, but I can afford to take the long view. I must admit that you're considerably more reasonable than I had been led to believe.
You have heard of us.
One doesn't exactly slaughter 100 men a battle and expect to completely unknown to the man who's paying the bills for those 100 men.
Well, understood.
Says, well, if there's nothing else, then I would thank you to get your mercenaries off my lawn.
Of course. With pleasure. And again, should you need their services, you know how to find me.
Should I need the services of anyone with a sword, someone who's already held on one person's leash would not be my first choice. And that's over his shoulder. He is riding back to the estate.
I feel, Nim leans towards Cyclone a little bit. I feel like he will be a problem down the road. I hope he won't be.
Yes.
But for now, we have other work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And little time in which to do it.
Yep.
All right. So you guys are going to head back into Origin?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Velasquez will mention to you that he's registered the Oathbound as a mercenary unit, so there should not be any problems with the city government.
Would also like to send a runner back to the village to let them know that the negotiation appears to have been amiable and give them the terms.
Okay. Yeah, and he can do that. He says, well, we do have a list of requirements that we would like you that you have agreed to fill, and while I understand you may not exactly have all of those things in your back pocket, the sooner you can fulfill your obligations, the happier I would be.
Obviously.
Are you guys going to relocate into the Red Fang's building?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably for the best.
Okay.
I do want to have... I want to organize eventually a hub or a sub-office at the village, too. I think having some of our mercenaries there, kind of making sure the village is okay, but also having something like an external auxiliary office is also really smart for us logistically.
Okay. But Jen, the clinic.
Yes.
Are you going to relocate that to the?
I'm actually going to touch base with some of the folks who have who have visited some of my street urchins and whatnot, and kind of get the read. Again, part of this is I like having the access to kind of an information source, because so many people overlook poor people and whatnot. Is that going to cause a problem? Is that going to make people less likely to avail themselves of the clinic?
Right now they don't know what to. Right now, nobody in the city really knows what to make of your of the Oathbound. They don't. Everybody hated and was afraid of the Red Fangs, but the Red Fangs just paid off a bunch of their people, and a bunch of them also just are no longer around anymore. And there's this new group that's old Red Fangs, but they're carrying new, they're under a new name and everything. Nobody really knows what to make of that. There's a lot of confusion. Honestly, it might take a little bit before people would be willing to head over to that place to treat it as a clinic.
Okay, then what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to go ahead and keep the main clinic where it is. Mm-hmm. But I will make it known that if someone has an after hours emergency, they are to find me at the Oathbound compound. And they will be brought to me, no questions asked, provided, an emergency.
Yeah. All right.
And we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, so about a day after you guys relocate, and the Oathbound are mostly occupied in cleaning up the hall, gathering the belongings of those who are deceased, and deciding what to do with them, that sort of thing. You guys, there's a one of the door. They set up basically door guards, and one of them comes back and finds you all and says, "There's some folks out front want to talk to you." And you guys can tell, all of you. He is gesturing and indicating all of you, and you can tell he's a little bit nervous.
I'm gonna send up my familiar. I'll send my familiar real quick while we get ready.
Hellbore? Yeah, okay.
Yes, so I'll send out Hellbore.
Hellbore flies out the window and goes and perches on the front porch, and you can see that there are a dozen armed men in uniform, in two different uniforms, and also a lioness.
Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at @RPGs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast. On Discord at Me and Steve RPGs. And as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.